It looks like Canon's developing a bold new zoom teleconverter. Now imagine you could have a single teleconverter that allows you to switch magnification from 1x to 1.4 to 2x, doing all this in a single unit without risking getting dust on the sensor and being able to do it instantly. Sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, stick around after this short break for all the details. But first, please do me a favor. Follow me on Twitter, but most importantly, please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything and really helps this channel grow. And if you're already a subscriber, thanks so much for your support. Canon Rumor says that Canon will introduce a new type of teleconverter alongside the Canon RF 200 to 500mm f4, which will likely be announced in the fourth quarter of this year or Q1 next year. We're still trying to nail down the timetable. This sounds great, doesn't it? Let me give you a scenario. Now I've got the 100 to 500mm right here, and I've got the 2x extender. It's spring. I love this time of year. The leaves are finally out, the grass is green, the daffodils, the tulips, the flowers are out, and boy, you can hear the birds chirping. You can hear wildlife, and that's because they're all getting together and starting families. And this is the best time of year to use this lens to capture life as it happens. But you see, what I have to do is I have to plan my outing if I'm going to shoot turtles, and I know approximately where they're going to be, so I know what tripod to bring, and I know I want the 100 to 500mm. But the only question I have to ask myself is, do I want the 2x extender? Because you see, if I'm taking the 100 to 500mm, I'm shooting with just it, I'm shooting at 100 to 500mm. With the 2x extender, I'm not exactly shooting 200 to 1000 because this lens will kind of lock at 300mm at the lowest. So that gives me essentially 600 to 1000. Now I can change this out while I'm there, but what usually happens is I get out there, I start shooting, and I realize, you know what? The animals are a little bit further away than I expected. So I need to take the lens off the camera, attach the teleconverter, or the opposite. I put the teleconverter on knowing exactly where they're going to be, and I get out there and things have changed. And it's really frustrating. It's annoying. And while I bring the right gear with me, I sometimes I'll bring a bag so I can put everything in a huge giant Ziploc bag. I take my little blower, my hand blower, and I'll switch things out, and it greatly reduces the risk of getting dust on the sensor, but we don't always have those options. To have a single teleconverter that I can put on my lens, my 100 to 500mm, and adjust at 1x, so there's no teleconverter, I get the best sharpness I can possibly imagine, but then I want to pull in a bit further because the animals are in a different location and I'm on a bridge. I don't have the ability to move closer. I'm in a blind or something like that. Well, then I can switch it to 1.4x. It allows me to get a little bit closer without really blowing away the sharpness. But then I just can't get close enough, so I have to switch it to 2x. I can do all that right in here. And what's really advantageous is, let's say I'm on some sort of a blind and wildlife is moving and shifting. This is great because now I've got a teleconverter that will easily allow me to switch magnification on the fly. Not only does it protect the camera from getting dust on the sensor, but it's quick, it's instant. I can instantly change it, and that is a big deal because changing out a teleconverter, it's not something you can do in 10 seconds, and even 30 seconds you can do it, but then you're going to risk getting dust on the sensor. So it usually takes me a good minute or two to get everything set up, get everything ready to minimize the risk of getting dust on the sensor. And by the time I've done that, wildlife might have moved, and you know what? If I had just waited and not used the 2x extender, they might have come closer, and that's the annoying thing. The other thing is I love capturing birds in flight too, and when you see trumpet swans or Canada geese and they're flying above, I had an opportunity the other day. They were perfect. They were right above me, and I had the wrong extender on, and it just didn't work out, and that was so frustrating. So I think those are two definite benefits. And I know what you're thinking. The third benefit has got to be price, right? I mean, after all, the 2x extender is around $999. That's US. And the 1.4x, it's $499. So $500 plus $1,000, that's $1,500. And we're not talking taxes. We're not talking shipping. That might apply. And if you're outside the United States, there's a 70% chance you are. Well, then you're going to pay considerably more due to the exchange rate, tariffs, and higher taxes. Now imagine for a moment that this is that zoom teleconverter, and I put it onto this lens here, the 100 to 500mm. I can go out, I can shoot 100 to 500. If that doesn't work and I need to punch in, I can go to 1.4, preserve a lot of detail, and if that doesn't work, I can open it all the way up to 2.0, all without opening up the device or the camera, without risking getting dust on the sensor. So it's saving me the number of units. I have basically everything all in one unit. Reduces the weight, reduces the size. And when you can do that and you can improve upon your workflow, well, what do most companies do when they realize they've got a device that's going to save you time, that's going to save you on your workflow, that's going to allow you to do your job better and quicker? Do they lower the price? No, usually what they do is they sell it to you as a premium device. So if you think this is going to cost you less than buying the 1.4 and the 2.0 extender separately, think again. And according to Canon rumors, it won't be cheap, we've been told, although the actual price is unknown at the moment. So what do you think? Would you be willing to pay a premium on a zoom teleconverter, one that gives you 1x magnification, so no magnification at all, 1.4 and 2.0, and pay a price of $14.99 or higher? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if your answer is yes, tell us what it is you shoot and why you'd be willing to pay a premium. And if you say no, again, tell us what you shoot, what kind of lenses you use. Do you shoot with a 100 to 500 millimeter, or do you shoot with some other zoom telephoto lens, like maybe the 100 to 300 millimeter? I'm curious to know, and not just me though, but everybody else watching this video, be curious to know what you have to say about this, as would I. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest news and rumors, the zoom teleconverter, the 200 to 500 millimeter, or what Canon's going to be doing with the Canon EOS R5 Mark II or the Canon EOS R1, then go ahead and subscribe, but make sure you choose all notifications. And for all those minor news and rumors, all those stories that aren't quite big enough to have their own separate video, then go ahead and follow me on Twitter. And not only do I tweet news and rumors information, but I also tweet deals. Like there's a huge amount of deals right now. The Canon EOS R5, $850 off. Use these links or use the links in my description. The Nikon Z6 Mark II is $300 off. The Nikon Z7 Mark II, $400 off. And the Panasonic S1H, the Mark I, there's no Mark II right now, is also $500 off, as is the Canon EOS R3. But that's not all. There's a ton of lenses and camera bodies on sale right now. If you use these links here, not only does it help this channel grow, it provides, I get a small commission, but you don't have to pay anything extra. But that's it for now. Have yourself a great weekend. And for my friends in the United States, have yourself a great Memorial Day weekend. I don't know what it is, but in this video, I can't say any word like with M in it, like millimeters. The amount of times I screwed up millimeters and had to I'm having trouble now, re-record. I'm just gonna end this video right now, but that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.